Ever wonder why your European friends seem to have it so good when it comes to work-life balance? We're talking long vacations, strong job security, and benefits that might seem like a dream. Is it just a cultural thing, or is there something bigger at play? Today, we're diving deep into the European model of work and uncovering why, even in our fast-paced global economy, Europe consistently puts its people before profits. To understand this, we have to rewind the clock a bit. Think back to the Industrial Revolution. Across Europe, factories were booming, but so was worker exploitation. Long hours, dangerous conditions, and little to no pay were the norm. This struggle gave birth to a powerful movement, organized labor. Workers realized that by banding together, they had a voice. They formed unions, they organized, and they fought for their rights. This wasn't just a fleeting moment, it became a cornerstone of European society and politics. The idea that a worker is not just a cog in a machine, but a human being deserving of dignity and respect, became deeply ingrained in the continent's DNA. This historical foundation is crucial because it shaped the laws and social contracts that exist today. So, what do these protections actually look like in practice? Let's start with something many of us dream about: vacation time. In the European Union, the Working Time Directive mandates that every worker is entitled to at least 4 weeks of paid leave per year. That's 20 workdays minimum, and many countries go even further. In France and Spain, it's common to have 30 days or more. Compare that to the United States, where there is no federal law requiring paid vacation at all. This isn't just about giving people a break. It's a belief that rest and time with family are essential for a productive and healthy society. It's a long-term investment in the well-being of the workforce. Now, let's talk about job security. The phrase at-will employment, which is standard in many parts of the world, is almost unheard of in much of Europe. It means an employer can fire an employee for any reason, or no reason at all, as long as it's not illegal. In Europe, the system is fundamentally different. Firing someone is a much more complex process. Employers usually need to provide a valid, documented reason, like poor performance or economic necessity. There are often mandatory notice periods, giving the employee time to find a new job. And in many cases, severance pay is legally required. This creates a more stable and predictable environment for workers, reducing the constant fear of sudden unemployment. It forces companies to invest in their employees through training and support, rather than seeing them as easily replaceable. Another huge piece of the puzzle is the power of unions and works councils. In countries like Germany, works councils are a legal requirement in companies of a certain size. These councils are made up of employees who are elected to represent the entire workforce. They have a say in major company decisions, from working hours and safety protocols to layoffs and restructuring. This concept is called co-determination. It means that workers aren't just told what to do. They are active participants in the governance of their workplace. This collaborative approach often leads to better outcomes for both the company and its employees, fostering a sense of shared purpose rather than conflict. And we can't forget about the social safety net. European countries are famous for their robust welfare states. This includes things like universal healthcare, which decouples health insurance from employment. You don't have to worry about losing your healthcare if you lose your job. It includes generous unemployment benefits that provide a real cushion if you find yourself out of work, allowing you to search for a job that truly fits your skills without desperation. And it includes family-friendly policies like extensive paid parental leave for both mothers and fathers. Sweden, for example, offers parents 480 days of leave to share. These systems are funded by higher taxes, but the trade-off is a society with less poverty, less inequality, and a greater sense of collective security. It's a social contract where everyone contributes and everyone is protected. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how can European economies possibly compete globally with all these regulations and costs? That's the million-dollar question, or maybe the trillion-euro question. Critics often argue that these labor protections stifle innovation, reduce flexibility, and make it harder for businesses to grow. They point to higher unemployment rates in some European countries as evidence that these policies can backfire. There's definitely a debate to be had there. Some businesses might choose to invest in regions with fewer regulations. However, proponents of the European model argue that it creates a different kind of competitive advantage. Think about it: when workers feel secure, respected, and well-rested, they are often more loyal, more motivated, and more productive. Companies that invest in their employees through training and good benefits tend to have lower turnover rates, which saves money on recruitment and training in the long run. This stability can foster long-term innovation. Germany's Mittelstand, its powerful backbone of small and medium-sized manufacturing companies, is a perfect example. These companies are often world leaders in their niche, and they are famous for their highly skilled, long-term workforce and apprenticeship programs. They prove that you can be highly competitive while treating your workers exceptionally well. Furthermore, these protections create a more stable domestic market. When more people have secure jobs and decent wages, they have more money to spend. This creates a virtuous cycle of consumption and economic growth. Instead of a race to the bottom where companies compete by cutting wages and benefits, the European model encourages a race to the top, where companies compete on quality, innovation, and skill. The focus isn't just on short-term profits for shareholders, but on long-term sustainable value for all stakeholders, including employees, customers, and the wider community. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? The European approach to labor is a conscious choice, rooted in history and a specific set of social values. It's a belief that a strong economy and a just society are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they can and should reinforce each other. It's the idea that the true wealth of a nation is its people, and investing in their well-being is the smartest economic strategy of all. Of course, no system is perfect. Europe faces its own challenges with bureaucracy, adapting to the gig economy, and integrating a diverse workforce. And the model varies significantly from country to country. But the core principle remains: the economy should serve people, not the other way around. It is a fascinating contrast to other models around the world and offers a powerful vision for what the future of work could look like. It challenges us to ask bigger questions about what we value. Is it just profit margins and stock prices, or is it human dignity, security, and a life well lived? What do you think? Is the European model something other countries should aspire to, or are the economic costs too high? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content just like this. See you in the next one.